So Trevor, how are the nerves holding up?
At the minute, completely fine. Obviously well aware how big the game is on Saturday, but I think credit the manager. To be fair, going into this week, it's been no different than any other week. You wouldn't sort of think, we've got a game that magnitude coming up on Saturday, and for me, I think that's a bit of a masterstroke from him in terms of just keeping it as it is and putting no added pressure on the boys, because we all know it's going to be a big game on Saturday, and there is going to be a lot of checking phones on the bench and looking over to see what's happening. But we well aware we can only affect one result on Saturday, so we've got to put all our concentration into that.
Did you always think it would go down to the last game?
Do you know what, Simon the physio, he's got a board up on his thing with all the fixtures, and if I had a pound for every time one of the lads has said, it's going to go down to the Sunderland game, it's going to go down, or let's try and get it put to bed before that Sunderland game, or it's always this Sunderland game's always been one that we've talked about for maybe the 2-3 months I've been here anyway. So yeah, I think obviously ideally we would have liked to have been home and hosed by now, but there's times, maybe you look at the three results, the Wigan, Shrewsbury, that sort of week, there's times I think you maybe would have snapped your hands off to be in this position going into Saturday. So football, it swings and roundabouts, so we got to make sure we're in a great position out of the three teams. You wouldn't choose any other position than ours, so we've got to take advantage of it.
And the results midweek went your way, didn't they? Sunderland drawing, but more importantly, that Fleetwood defeat.
Yeah, you coming back in the bus on Saturday, you're sitting with all the boys and you're going through what would be the best result for us, but I think looking back now, I think you couldn't have wrote it any better for that. And in that sense, there's been a few occasions this season where we've come in after and checked results, and we've been quite fortunate in that sense. But our form over the last sort of month has sort of put us in this position to be in a good chance. So we know one more big push on Saturday, and regardless of what they do, it'd be nice to do it in our own terms and not rely on anyone else.
Do you relish big games like this?
Oh, massively. It's what you're in football for. It's great playing at home at Morecambe. It is. Our fans have got behind us brilliantly. But even when you ask any of the lads. This my first game was Spurs away. It's an amazing feeling. It's what you made all the sacrifices as kids for. When you were 8, 9, 10-year-old, and it's the playing games, I guess. And of course, there's going to be an edge to it. I've had it before at Hartlepool where similar. We had Doncaster last game of the season. They'd already got promoted, but they need to win the league. And bearing in mind, we hadn't won in 12 games, but somehow managed to put a result together, beat them 2-1. But unfortunately, Newport equalising in the 93rd minute or something. And it, so I've been on the wrong side of it, and I know that feeling of just, hopelessness. You can't do anything to affect what's happening down at Newport, whereas on Saturday we know if we do our job, it's job done. And I think that's a great incentive for the boys, and there's definitely an edge about them in training this week, in terms of you can sense it's a big occasion coming up.
I know you're a modest sort of chap, but it's going to be tight at the bottom whatever happens, and it could be that couple of brilliant saves against Oxford United that ensured 3 points could be the difference.
It's not. You can dress it up nicely like that. As you said before, there's been a lot of big moments from Cole, the goal against Fleetwood, stuff like that. If we get the job done on Saturday, I don't like praise or anything like that, but I will look back and enjoy a beer and and probably feel a little bit of pride at that save. It's such an important moment as well. But there's been so many moments, and but it's up to us to go and make it, because they'll be worth nothing if we don't get the job done on Saturday. So it'll be great to get the job done, and then you can look back and let the fans put a wee montage together of all these special moments you're talking about of all the players. But there's no individual that's going to single-handedly keep us up, and I think that'll be more evident on Saturday. It'll have to be a team effort, every single one of us. And so it's no time for personal accolades. No, sorry.
So what do you put the improvement in form down to since the international break? Because I think that's been the key, hasn't it? You mentioned Shrewsbury, Wigan, things looking pretty bleak, and then that gap, and then things have picked up.
Do you know what? Football, you can dress it up in many different ways. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's about scoring more goals than your opposition. And there's been games we've been well in the games. You know, you look at Lincoln's, went to Rotherham. You know, we had Wigan at home. We've been more than a better side. You know, I think we've been a better side in games. And then there's been games over the last month where we've maybe rode our luck a little bit and come out the other side with the positive results. So I think one big thing is after the international break, you know, as a group we sort of spoke about, I think in football you make your own luck by doing the right things constantly, day in, day out. And maybe that slipped a little bit, you know, in terms of, I wouldn't say professionalism, but just, you know, maybe taking an eye off the ball a bit. And I think if you do things consistently well every day from Monday to Friday, and then, you know, a Saturday, you might get that little bit of luck. And I think we have over the last month. We've got deflected goals, you know, the last minute goal against Portsmouth where in another day it could have been ruled out. And, you know, and certainly the month, 2 months before that when I first came in, them little things are going against us. But, you know, I think it's important to keep doing the right things constantly, and I think the lads have been brilliant at that over the last. So, you know, I'm making it sound that we weren't professional before. It certainly wasn't the case, but I just think there's been that real focus over the last sort of month, and you know, and I think we are getting our rewards for it. And yeah, we've competed. You know, it's going to be hard for us in this league against. You know, you look at our fixtures. I think with 10 to go, you looked at our fixtures, and I think 8 of them were against teams in the top 10, and you know, it was always going to be a tough run-in. So to get the points return we have, you know, we must be doing something right. So yeah, let's hope it continues.
But Sunderland have got plenty to play for themselves, haven't they?
Oh, without doubt. You know, it's a huge game for them. You know, obviously I've history with Sunderland. I've got a lot of mates who are still friends there, and you know, I went and watched the game on Tuesday, a bit of a scouting mission, and you know, and you can sense there is a little bit of edginess with the fan. You know, it's a massive. You know, well, of course it'll be a failure if they don't make playoffs for a club of their stature. So, you know, they'll have that little bit of pressure as well, and you know, let's hope it makes for an exciting game. You know, the last thing I want's a bit of, you know, an edgy game, like two teams looking nervous. But you know, I'm more than confident it'll be a sort of a ding dong battle, and I think that suits us if it is a bit open game and, you know, bit like a boxing match rather than just, you know, teams sitting in, because I think the danger for us is a point would probably keep us up, wouldn't it? You know, it would mean Gillian would have to go and turn Rotherham over by 3 goals, but I think if you go into a game with that mindset thinking a point would be enough, I think it's dangerous. So we're approaching the game, you know, we want to win the game, and you know, we feel we can, you know, especially at home. Our form's been decent here, and with the fans behind us, you know, who knows.